Even worse, he would also be accused of promising a 13-year-old girl that he could get her a role on that show and would be charged with sending explicit pictures of himself to that child.
I'm literally tired of these. It's like, wake up, become successful, live out my dreams, mess with children. What? Why?
Where you at, Berto?
Disturbing case of Kyle Massey, Disney to disgrace. I'm not sure what happened to this guy. You know, I loved Corey in the House. I loved him in That's So Raven. But yeah, like what? I don't know what happened to Corey Baxter, bro. Damn. Let's get right into the video and see what happened.
He went from Corey in the House to Corey facing the big house, as Kyle Massey, former Disney Channel star, was charged with sending explicit pictures of himself to a 13-year-old girl.
Bro, I'm tired of these niggas. I'm literally tired of these niggas. It's like, wake up, become successful, live out my dreams, mess with children. What? Why? What is up with these guys? What is up with these guys?
But Kyle claims that this was nothing more than an extortion attempt, even though his response had everyone scratching their head.
My response to those allegations are that, first off, we would need to go back.
As soon as he said first off, I knew my boy was lying.
Yeah, bro, facts. Like, when you get an allegation like this and you didn't do it, the only thing you need to be screaming is, I didn't fucking do it. This is a lie. I'm being framed. And here's the reason why. You over here giving me the mathematician and all this going back like, okay, so first off, you know, we started talking. Wait, what? You started talking? What do you mean? What? That don't make no sense, G.
Kyle Massey is another classic example of our childhood nostalgia getting destroyed by adult criminal behavior. And today we are going to deep dive into the entire story because this one is unbelievable. Kyle Massey's entry into the entertainment industry wasn't fueled by ambition, nor was it a lifelong dream. Kyle was introduced to the business through his older brother Chris, who was best known for his role as Michael on the Nickelodeon sitcom Zoe 101.
Oh, I didn't even know he had an older brother.
Yeah, Zoe. That was tripping.
Kyle would tag along with his mother and his brother to auditions, which ultimately led to him auditioning and getting his first job.
It was his audition, and then they just pulled me in by accident. And once they tried to pull me in, my mom was like, oh, like, don't take him. Like, he not gonna act right. My mom was like, I don't want him ruining the chances for my son that can do the right thing,
so
right?
So you acting crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
I was acting crazy. But they ended up pulling me in the audition. I ended up getting the job. And that
from your brother? You took it from your brother?
Took it from my brother.
Hilarious. I didn't know that.
Crazy.
The family moved from Atlanta to Los Angeles, where both brothers continued trying out for film and television. Kyle nearly landed the role of Beans on the Disney Channel show Even Stevens, but instead, the executive producers of Even Stevens were working on a show called That's So Raven and decided to give Kyle a role on.
Oh, this is actually crazy now I think about it. I forgot brother's name right here. What's this nigga's name? Because didn't he turn out to be a crackhead or some shit too? 2 for 2 is crazy, man. What was they putting in the That's So Raven script? 2 for 2 is crazy. We got PDFI right here and a crackhead right here. Orlando Brown. Yeah. Damn, 2 for 2 is crazy.
That show, which
and then Raven went bald. All right, I'm tripping. Ain't nothing wrong with going bald. Now I'm just talking cash shit. But now it almost made me want to investigate what happened to Shorty right here. Yeah, man. Easy on Orlando Brown. He was touched as a child. He went through a lot. Is that facts? For real? Oh, I didn't know that. But listen, bro, I'll say this. And I don't mean no disrespect, but just because a nigga went through some like crazy shit and then starts doing crazy shit doesn't justify his crazy shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not saying that should have happened to him or if that's true. And I'm sorry, definitely. But like, that's like saying somebody had something traumatizing happen to them and then they go and, you know, hurt or destroy a lot of people and we supposed to like justify it. Like, wrong is still wrong.
which ended up being one of the most successful shows in Disney Channel history. That's So Raven follows Raven Baxter, a teen girl who has psychic visions that sometimes predict the future. The show had a repetitive and predictable formula, but it was honestly genius. Every episode would essentially start with Raven having a vision of something bad, dangerous, scary, or awkward that might happen in the future. She would then spend the entire episode desperately trying to stop that outcome, only for her overreactions and interference to be the very thing that causes the vision to come true. But the reason why the show was so popular was less about the plot and more about Raven's chemistry with her best friends, Eddie and Chelsea, as well as her dynamic with her family, which included her younger brother Corey, played by Kyle Massey. Corey is introduced as a clever, mischievous kid who is always...
This wasn't my favorite kid show. My favorite kid show on Disney Channel, I would probably say Disney Channel. Honestly, bro, I was more of a Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon type vibe. But, you know, I enjoyed Kim Possible. I loved Kim Possible. Kim Possible is one I remember sticking around for. Proud Family, not so much. Yo, real quick, before we get back into the video, I know you guys usually skip these type of ads, but give me 1 second. My guys over at Free Cash are sponsoring this video, and if you like money, I think you'd like to stick around. Free Cash is an application where you can earn free money just for playing games. It is 100% free to sign up using the QR code on the screen or the link in my description. Only thing that you're gonna need is an email or a password. And the games on this platform are actually fun, and all you have to do is complete basic missions and very simple tasks to reach the requirements to actually get paid. And as soon as you do that, they credit your account right away with real money that you can use in the real world. I'm talking about gift cards, PayPal, however you need to get your funds, they got it. And something that I've been seeing a little bit y'all talking about is like, oh, they're collecting my data. Listen, they only track your progress so they know when to pay you. And let me break down exactly why they're paying you free cash in the first place. The games that are on these platforms are trying to get exposure. So the games pay free cash to pay you guys to play the games. If you really think about it, it's just business. It's a win-win situation. These games get more people onto their platform playing their games, and you get a little bit of extra chicken in your pockets. And I've had so many of you guys reach out to me already saying that you've made $5 to $10 just playing games that you would be playing for free anyway. And I know $5 to $10 isn't like life-changing money, but it's free money to play games on your phone. And the crazy part is I've actually had people tell me that they've had crazy payouts like $500, one even $1,000. I'm not saying to quit your day job, but the fact that that's even possible, I mean, bro, it's free. So if you ask me, there's really nothing to lose, just everything to gain, honestly, if you like playing games on your free time. So click the link in my description or try the QR code on my screen to sign up for free, and you'll even get a $5 bonus using my stuff. I love y'all. Where you at, family? Let's get right back into the video.
Where you at, Berto?
He's plotting on how to make quick money, impress his friends, or get one over on people.
Got you, Raven! Mom? Dad? I am so disappointed!
Very similar to the character of Megan on Drake and Josh, Corey is super confident, sometimes cocky, often believing he's outsmarted everyone around him.
Hey Corey, what's with the snorkel? How do you breathe?
I don't. That's kind of the point.
Raven and Corey's sibling rivalry revolves around the two constantly teasing and undermining one another, which felt like a relatable sibling experience that is rarely shown on TV.
Why do you always have to follow me? I was using your big head to block out the sun.
The only thing that made Corey unrealistic as a character is that he was way funnier and more charismatic than a real-life younger brother.
Hand over the phone, worm.
Don't look at me, the boy is good.
And my nickname isn't Worm or Magnet, it's Dr. Love.
But despite Corey and Raven constantly bickering and fighting, they have deep familial, unconditional love for each other.
Corey, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm so proud of you. I never thought I'd say this. Thanks for having my back.
That's So Raven was a massive hit from the beginning, debuting to 3.4 million viewers, which was higher than any Disney original series premiere at that time. It continued to grow drastically. Even a random episode deep into season 3 would secure as much as 5 million viewers. The show and cast were nominated for various awards over 30 times. They wrote books based around the show, sold video games, and even were nominated for 2 Emmys.
Who the fuck was playing a That's So Raven video game? I ain't gonna lie. If you was like, I'm all for That's So Raven, that was a great show. But if you got on the computer and played a That's So Raven video game, I'm genuinely questioning your childhood. Genuinely. What the fuck are you doing?
After 100 episodes, That's So Raven redefined the Disney Channel, and executives were trying to milk Raven-Symoné's popularity for as long as possible, which ended up benefiting Kyle Massey significantly. Disney Channel executives pitched That's So Raven 2, which was going to be a show that follows Raven to college, but Raven had been working in the entertainment industry since she was 3 years old and wanted to retire by age 18, so she ultimately decided not to take on a new role, which forced the network to shift focus and develop a spin-off around Kyle Massey instead. But first, picture this. You're about
Brand deal. I know it. Watch this. Boom. Told y'all. Come on, man. I'm too good. And I'm about to drop mine on y'all very soon, if not right now.
Corey Baxter as he leaves San Francisco and moves to Washington, D.C. to live in the White House. Corey's father, Victor Baxter, is hired as the personal chef to the President of the United States. As soon as he gets there, Corey wastes no time getting into trouble, but the chaos is more ridiculous because they are inside the most powerful government building in the world.
And there's the state.
All right, back up. I've got some work to do, okay? I am going to fix this with crema.
I remember I had a crush on this girl. I don't remember. That's funny. I literally remember having a crush on this girl. I wonder where she's at nowadays. I'd actually have to do some research. Hold on. We're going to put Corey in the House cast. Did she go on to do big things? What's her name? Mariah. I think this is her. Mariah Walsh. What other movies did she get into? The Starving Games? What the fuck is that? Is that like a parody of the Hunger Games? Damn, she went on to be a parody actor. Damn. She got in Mean Girls. Summer Camp, never heard of that. X Next Door. Damn, yeah. She got the T-Boo movie. She got the T-Boo movie scripts. Damn. Yeah, she wasn't hitting for nothing. Well, hopefully them checks are still good and she all right. That's crazy.
Room's old-timey Bahavian stain remover. A splash of yak milk.
Corey's plans usually clash with the strict rules and routines of presidential life, leading to comedic situations involving Secret Service agents and the presidential family.
He could lick my hand all day.
Hey, yo.
While Corey in the House was not as popular nor culturally iconic as That's So Raven, it maintained solid cable ratings. Sometimes it would rank as the network's most watched show for that week. The show was originally planned for 3 seasons, however, during the filming of a season 2 episode in which Corey goes overboard on a large boat, an accident occurred. Because the boat was rented, the crew couldn't make the usual modifications to ensure safety while filming. The plan was for Kyle to say his lines at the edge of the boat, then a stunt person would step in to leap off the side of the boat and drop onto a stack of thick padded mats below. Instead, Kyle jumped over the edge of the boat himself. Kyle thought it would be really funny if he did the fall. When Kyle fell off the boat, he hit the mat at an angle, rolling off and smashing his head on the concrete soundstage floor. He was rushed to the hospital. Once medically cleared, Massey returned to shoot more episodes for the season, but the show would ultimately be canceled for other reasons. And that's because at this time, the 2007 and 8 Writers Guild of America strike began, where TV and film writers refused to work due to being paid scraps compared to the massive profits the studios were making. The strike lasted 100 days and brought Hollywood to a standstill. Television shows shut down production, seasons got shortened or canceled, and scripted TV mostly disappeared for months while reality shows rushed in to fill the gap. Corey in the House was one of those shows that essentially ended because of the strike. In the end, Disney Channel aired 34 episodes of the show, but now Kyle Massey's future in Hollywood was uncertain. Like many child stars, Kyle was too associated with his youthful, exaggerated, safe, Disney-like persona, making it difficult for studios to cast him or...
That's tough, man. You know, you think you want to take advantage of some shit because it's a great opportunity to be a part of the Disney world or whatever. At least you think it is. And then boom, you have this shit casting over you forever. And it's like the only shit you can do is do these crazy, outlandish things like Miley Cyrus and some of these other actors to try to shake the image. It's pretty crazy to see.
Market him as an adult. In 2010, he competed on the 11th season of Dancing with the Stars, where he and professional partner Lacey Schwimmer finished as runners-up in the competition. Still eager for work, he ended up taking on more family-friendly type jobs, securing a role on a Disney animated series called Fish Hooks, where he voiced a fish named Milo. The show ran from 2010 to 2014, which was a consistent paycheck, but not exactly an illustrious Hollywood career. And like other former Disney stars, the press becomes thirsty for a shock-driven narrative. Leaked photos,
Yeah, I've never heard of fish hooks either, honestly.
those exaggerated scandals and rumors so they can say, remember this kid? Look how far they've fallen. Desperate for drama, rumors persisted that Kyle was dying from cancer. Kyle told
What?
ET, overnight it was trending on Twitter that I'm dying of cancer. I want to say first, I do not have cancer, and I don't know where this
God damn, y'all just fucking making shit up like anything? That's crazy. No way y'all didn't watch Fish Hooks. Bro, I've never even heard of Fish Hooks. It looks like the same people that made Gravity of the Falls like animated or something though.
inconsiderate and insensitive
Same
rumor
art style.
originated from. And looking back on this, I think another reason why rumors were being spread about Kyle Massey was because of his developing close relationship with Justin Bieber. Justin and Kyle developed a bond over them both being famous since a very young age.
Why are you always so burnt is what I want to know.
Shut up, bro. I'm not burnt, nigga. Burnt niggas don't eat filet.
Damn, boy, you shoulda. You was friends with JB?
Justin
You should have dropped a song with that nigga or something.
was likely a huge help in launching Kyle's rap career because his acting career wasn't working out.
Oh, he had a
got
music
roles
career?
in a few direct-to-DVD films and TV shows like the superhero crime drama Gotham, as well as a recurring role in Cartoon Network's Mighty Magus Words. But Kyle still had the jovial, lovable kid persona and round baby face even as he aged into adulthood. And since he wasn't able to prove that he was all grown up on TV, he decided to pursue music, uploading hip-hop tracks to SoundCloud where he raps about having sex with women and getting money.
Niggas, they see me, I forward my motion. I'm dropping these hits while they flopping. Yo, give me sloppy toppy.
Now I'm
That wasn't bad, you know. It's just like it's not gonna fly now. Like if you drop that right now, I'm like, yeah, this is some hot garbage. But depending on the year, you know, maybe like on some, you know, around the time where we're listening to "Girl, the way you're moving got me in a trance. DJ, turn me up. It is your dance. Come on." Like that time, I don't remember what year that was, but like music like that, "Girl, drop it to the floor. I love the way you boot." Like around that time, that might have been alright. But that shit doo-doo now, though. You can't put shit like that out now. We not listening to that.
assuming that him becoming essentially a part of Justin Bieber's entourage is what helped him get connected with very successful artists, because he had a relative amount of success in music. He produced a song called Hard Work for French Montana in 2015, as well as featured on a song called Syrup with Soulja Boy. Then again, the rapper lifestyle can come with its own set of risks, and Kyle and his brother Chris would find that out the hard way. Chris was also frequently posted up in the studio with rappers and producers. At this point, I'm not sure if he was actually making any music or if he was just in there for the lifestyle, but he was definitely entrenched in the music industry. And in November of 2014, Chris Massey was throwing a party at his penthouse apartment when he asked rapper Lil Twist to leave following an argument. Twist
Lil
reportedly
Twist?
left, but returned roughly 30 minutes
Oh, that's bad company.
later with 4 other men and forced their way back inside.
Yo, Yellow with the big 5 gifted, my God.
Where you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto?
Thank you, Yellow. I appreciate you, brother. So much love, my
Where
dog.
you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto?
Once inside, they attacked Chris, reportedly
Gotta
beating him
update that
with
sub
brass
goal, my
knuckles, humiliating
gangsta.
him, and stealing his wallet and cell phone. Chris required medical attention for his injuries, but denied speaking to the media. Twist was charged with 6 felonies, including burglary, battery, grand theft, criminal threats, and multiple counts of assault with a deadly weapon.
Love you,
He eventually
Yellow. I
pleaded no
appreciate you, bro.
contest, but was sentenced to 1 year in jail in 2016, followed by probation. It was now the mid-2010s, and Kyle Massey was stuck in a situation most people can't relate to. His full-time job at this point seemed to be flying around the world with Justin Bieber, going to shows and concerts with him, partying with rappers and models, and witnessing the business deals Bieber was securing. Kyle was living the lifestyle of being extremely famous and successful, but as we know, he didn't have any current major film or TV roles to justify cozying up with
He was leeching. He was living the leech life. It's unfortunate.
The Kardashians, but rather that he was tagging alongside the biggest pop star of the 2010s. However,
it's not just the 2020s. JB still got it.
Almost changed in the summer of 2015 when Raven-Symoné and the original main cast of That's So Raven reunited in an appearance on The View. Notice how the interviewer asks what Kyle is working on, but he doesn't answer the question.
Actually, since That's So Raven, you went on to do a bunch of other shows and you came in second place on Dancing with the Stars, which is like awesome. So exciting. What are you working on now?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of different projects.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
People suspected that since the cast was reunited and Disney Channel was leaning into reboots after finding success with Girl Meets World, that maybe a That's So Raven reboot was coming, and we would later find out that it was. Only Kyle was not going to be invited. Even worse, he would also be accused of promising a 13-year-old girl that he could get her a role on that show and would be charged with sending explicit pictures of himself to that child.
And this is where it all comes crashing down. All right, let's lock in. Let's see what took place, man.
The victim, who wasn't named due to her age, claimed she met Kyle when she was 4 years old, meaning Kyle was 18 or 19 and 2 years removed from the end of Cory in the House.
I need to hear that again because I just think my ears weren't working and there's just no possible way that that's true, right?
13-year-old girl that he could get her a role on that show and would be charged with sending explicit pictures of himself to that child. The victim, who wasn't named due to her age, claimed she met Kyle when she was 4 years old, meaning Kyle was 18 or 19 and 2 years
Four, 18.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Holy fucking shit. 4 to 18.
removed from the end of Cory in the House. Interested in pursuing a career in entertainment, she remained in contact with him and Massey became close with her and her family. He later suggested that she travel from Seattle, Washington to live with him and his girlfriend in LA. The girl and her mother say Kyle held himself out as a father figure to her, and their contact increased in November 2018 when the girl expressed interest in a role on the rebooted version of That's So Raven. Raven's Home was the official spin-off that premiered in the summer of 2017 and followed a similar plot as the original. Raven Baxter is now an adult single mother living in Chicago with her twin children, Booker and Nia, who
Was this good? Did anybody watch the That's So Raven spinoff? I would be so happy for her if it was good, bro. Honestly. You know, I'm too old to be watching shit like this, but like, I never tapped in. I saw it went live though.
have inherited her psychic abilities. The show reunites Raven with her best friend Chelsea and her father Victor, along with appearances by many other familiar characters from the original series. However, Orlando Brown and Kyle Massey were left out.
They could not bring Orlando Brown back on that. They should have for the culture, but there's just, I'm not convinced this nigga would have been able to. I could just imagine the recording room of them trying to get this nigga to get his lines right, bruh. That nigga's not real, bro. There's no way they could have brought him back.
Now, Massey told Perez Hilton, as far as That's So Raven 2, I'm not really sure what part I will play in the show, if any. I spoke with Raven a few weeks ago, but we haven't officially secured anything yet. I would always be down to do a guest spot on her show. Raven can make it happen. Hell, who knows? I might have to bring Cory in the House back with a fake Donald Trump as president. You never know. Just know it's always a party when you get the gang back together. It was clear that Kyle Massey didn't just want this opportunity, he needed it. However, he would never get a role on Raven's Home, nor would he get a reboot of his own show, and maybe that's a good thing. Massey's contact with the underage victim increased heavily in November of 2018 because during that same month, the third season of Raven's Home planned on adding several new female characters ranging from 11 to 13 years old. Because Kyle had been a part of the original show, the alleged victim likely assumed that he had the connections necessary to help her get a role, and this is when Kyle contacted the girl's mother to invite the girl to stay with him and his girlfriend girlfriend in Los Angeles so he could help her find an agent. However, a month later, he allegedly added the girl as a friend on Snapchat and shortly after sent her numerous explicit text messages, images, and videos. When the allegations went public, Massey firmly denied any wrongdoing. No child should ever be exposed to explicit materials, and I unequivocally and categorically deny any alleged.
This is the thing though, man. And before I even let you finish, gang, you know, all of this is alleged, so I'm just hoping that it's not true. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. Why the fuck are you adding her on Snapchat? Why the fuck are you inviting her to live with you? It's like niggas want us to believe they're not peas, but then they sign themselves up for shit like this. Come on, dude. You're not you have no business doing that. You a grown ass man. And again, if I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, I'm not saying I'm believing the story he's selling. But let's just say he's really genuinely trying to get this girl an acting opportunity. So you're really like on some mentor type shit. You're still a grown ass man, bro. And she has parents. She need to live with her motherfucking parents. You talk to her parents. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be fucking Snapchatting her, sending her no pictures or nothing. These niggas be weird, bro. And that's where it's like, where there's smoke, there's usually fire, bro. Like, you don't just end up in these random ass weird scenarios, bro. Like, you're doing some weird shit.
Misconduct. He stated that in early 2019, the plaintiff's attorneys demanded $1.5 million and threatened to go public and damage his career if he refused to comply. My family and I reject this extortion attempt because I have faith that the legal process will reveal the truth. In response to the allegations, Kyle Massey's mother, Angel Massey, also took to social media to advocate for her son, using the hashtag #HeToo. Where's the justice for men? Women get to say stuff and do what they want and file lawsuits under Jane Doe. No, the mother's name is Kendra Andreas. My son's name is Kyle Massey. Kendra is another mother like me. Why does she not list her name in her complaint? This is hashtag #HeToo. From there, Angel posted a few screenshots of several media outlets' coverage of the allegations against her son. Kyle Massey was accused of sending an inappropriate picture of his penis to a minor. The second image of this post, from her attorneys to me and Kyle's dad, clearly says Kyle sent the picture to Miss Andreas. Her daughter's last name is different. Kendra Andreas is a liar. Angel appears to suggest that the explicit material that Kyle sent was directed to the teen girl's mother and not the child. But we wouldn't get any closure on this case until 2 years later, when the allegations resurfaced again in June of 2021, when he was charged with 1 count of immoral communication with a minor. The felony charge was filed in King County, Washington. Massey responded in a statement through his attorney, "It is unfortunate that Kyle Massey had to learn through the media yesterday that the 2019 allegations have resurfaced in the state of Washington, a year after their dismissal." Massey's team alleged that the accusers were attempting to use the Washington courts as a platform for revenge after losing the civil matter in California. According to Massey's legal team, Kyle was never properly served or notified about this charge by the court, which is why when he didn't show up for his arraignment on July 13th, a King County judge issued a $100,000 arrest warrant, drawing even more attention to the case. Public court records later indicated that the warrant remains active, but there are no publicly available records confirming that Massey was ever taken into custody on that warrant. He said, "The date and time that they claimed they arrested me, I just so happened to be filming a TV show with the production timestamp in front of 200 witnesses." Basically, Massey is accusing the courts of lying and creating a fake arrest. According to Massey, he has never been provided booking photos, fingerprints, or jail documentation that would normally accompany an arrest.
I mean, normally stuff like that would be public, right?
He said, "After that, they basically used that fake arrest to get me my court date that I didn't show up to that got me to my warrant." Whether this reflects an error made by the courts, a miscommunication between agencies, or a corrupt system out to get him remains unclear. But this discrepancy became central to his defense. And in a shocking twist that nobody expected, Kyle
had a haircut, boy. Atrocious. Atrocious.
Actually claimed that he was the victim of abuse from the mother of the girl that was pressing charges against him.
That mother had a inappropriate relationship with me since I was a kid, when I was 15. Now I can sit here and I can like look at you and say it without breaking down. But you gotta understand, this was like one of the hardest moments in my life because the person that took advantage of me when I was a child is now painting me as the predator.
According to his
Okay. That is very unfortunate. Yo! WS with the Big 10 gifted.
Where you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto? Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look sweet.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to give you more praise. We're in the middle of a video, but thank you so much.
Lawyer Ariel Mitchell, Massey met the mother, Kendra Andreas, in California in 2007, 2 years before the mother claims that they met and when the actor was just 15. The claims that Massey portrayed himself as a father figure to her child are misleading, arguing that it was Miss Andreas who wanted him to fill that role. Even in the police statement, the mother says Mr. Massey was promising her, the mother, to marry her, the mother, and for them to move. The lawyer also referenced a potential witness who claimed the mother said that she was trying to get that Disney money and eventually have a baby with the actor. Kyle defended his relationship with the daughter by claiming he had a history of mentoring and supporting aspiring performers. And I did it just out of the grace of my heart, just because I know how much I've been helped along my path. So as far as this girl, the whole me helping her situation was just another person that I was trying to help. Massey reiterated that he has been famous since the age of 8. He said that when he was a 16-year-old superstar and among the most famous African Americans in the country, he frequently met 12-year-olds with dreams, adding that many of those individuals later found success, which he attributed to his guidance. But then his story slightly changed, going from "this is absolute nonsense extortion" to "well, it was an accident." Kyle acknowledged accidentally sending the daughter what his lawyer described as an inadvertent disclosure that was not meant for
I'm over here starting to buy into the little bit of the like, okay, I see where this allegation could be going crazy, but now your story not matching, bro. Again, where there's smoke is fire. There's some weird shit going on.
Child. They said there was some accidental communication where there was something sent, and then right after it was "that wasn't for you" type of situation, but that was it. Besides that, Kyle does have a somewhat decent defense here. The mother claims Kyle met her daughter when she was 4. Well, how else would he meet a 4-year-old? Not online, that's for sure.
Okay, hold on.
Kyle claims that the mother pursued him, groomed him to be her partner and a father figure to the child when he was also underage, which is not that hard to believe considering the countless horror stories we have heard from previous Disney and Nickelodeon stars.
Hold on.
So yeah, it is possible that some crazy lady saw Kyle Massey, a 15-year-old Disney star, and decided to groom him and think, oh, he's probably rich and loaded and we're gonna have a family one day. It's possible. Regardless of that, Kyle initially said this entire situation was baseless extortion, then admits that he was not only communicating with this minor consistently over the course of many years, but also admitting to sending explicit material to that child, but just trying to say it was an accident and intended for the mother. So even in this messy case that's full of he said, she said, there's still an admission that something happened that never should have happened in the first place. But it's been 5 years since he received this charge, and the case against Massey hasn't been resolved, and an outcome has not been confirmed. During this time, Kyle continued to flood his Instagram with pictures of him hanging out with celebrities, rappers, and internet influencers, although he didn't post much with his longtime buddy Bieber. It seemed like he had developed enough friendships in LA or maintained just enough fame to be in the mix with new stars, but his career was far from thriving. He struggled to get anything more than an extra role on a low-budget film. He did secure a recurring role on a 2021 sitcom called Millennials that was canceled after 2 seasons, but after these allegations hit, he has not had a job in Hollywood, and he hasn't posted on social media in years. However, his old co-star Orlando Brown was not going to let him forget about what he did.
Okay, did you go to court yet, nigga? For showing your to that 14-year-old? Because you'll never be me, nigga. You need to go to court first and handle your problems and fix the things you do with your little dick. Okay.
These days, the only time you see Kyle on the internet is the
Holy
occasional
shit.
podcast, but I also noticed that he drops music consistently but doesn't tell anyone about it or promote it. One of his more recent songs was called Trumpet, which was a celebration song for Donald Trump being re-elected.
I can't lie, they want that trumpet. You know the vibes, Joe Biden.
That shit fucking sucks. What the fuck? Come on, man. It's 2026. I just told your stupid ass you can't put no bullshit out like that, man. Hell.
Kyle Massey was another Disney kid who grew up inside a machine that rewarded fame before maturity, and as a result, he led a life where he failed to grow up at best and committed horrific crimes against children at worst. Whether Kyle Massey was failed by the system, the people around him, or his own decisions, the result is the same. A once childhood icon's reputation is now permanently destroyed. The craziest part is the same thing happened to his That's So Raven co-star Orlando Brown, who
Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, bro. I really don't know how to feel because, again, it's all allegations. So I'm not going to sit on here and, dunk on a nigga that, potentially might be innocent and it was a victim himself. But it's very unfortunate, bro. The dark trail of Disney seems to continue.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look too easy.